Hello, children. We are now going to start with a presentation for the topic sound for class 6. In the class 6 science chapter about sound, students learn about how sound is produced, travels, and is heard. Key concepts include the definition of sound as a form of energy produced by vibrations, how sound waves travel through mediums like air, water, and solids, woods, glass, etc., and the differences between pitch, loudness, and speed of sound. The chapter also covers how humans hear sound through their ears and the difference between pleasant and unpleasant sounds, that is, noise. Humans produce sound using the larynx or voice box located in the throat. When we exhale, air from our lungs passes through the larynx, causing two structures called vocal cords to vibrate. These vibrations create sound waves that travel outwards, which we can then hear as our voice. Vocal cord is a source of human voice. Sounds can be classified into different types based on various characteristics. For class 6, the most relevant classification are audible, infrasonic, and ultrasonic based on frequency, and loud, soft, high pitched, and low pitched based on other properties. Additionally, sounds can be categorized as musical or noise based on their effect on our hearing. So you can see this vocal cord, the diagram of the vocal cords which is there in our throat, and they vibrate when we speak or when we inhale the air. So they vibrate and they produce the sound. For class 6, types of sound are mainly categorized by frequency into audible sound between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz, which humans can hear. Infrasound below 20 Hz, inaudible to humans, which can be heard by elephants. And ultrasound above 20,000 Hz, also inaudible to humans, which can be heard or produced by the bats. You can also classify sounds by their characteristics like loudness, loud versus soft, pitch, high versus low, and by their nature, such as pleasant sound like music or rustling leaves, and unpleasant sounds like a car horn or shouting. Now, types of sound by frequency. Audible sound, these are sounds within the frequency range that the human ear can detect, typically from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. We can hear these sounds clearly. So here you can see how the non-audible, then audible, and then the ultrasound, that is more than the frequency which human can hear. Pleasant and unpleasant sound. Pleasant sounds are those that are soothing and enjoyable, like the sound of flowing water, birds singing, or a gentle melody. Unpleasant sounds, on the other hand, are harsh, jarring, or annoying, such as loud construction noises, vehicle horns, or a screeching sound. As essentially, pleasant sounds are those we find agreeable and often associate with positive feelings, while unpleasant sounds can be irritating and even cause discomfort. Like here, you have to tick mark which is pleasant and which is unpleasant. So you can see that here there is a you can see various pictures. You have to just see. So there is a fire extinguisher. So that is that sound that comes with a lot of sound. So because everybody has to know there is a fire somewhere. So therefore it is unpleasant for our ears. Whereas the birds is pleasant sound. Then the flute, it's a pleasant sound. Then the ambulance sound is also unpleasant because the people should know that there is an ambulance and there is some person who is sick sitting in the ambulance. So it has to be taken, that person has to be taken to the hospital very fast. So they make a lot of sound. Then the horns, unpleasant. And then the playing piano or playing any musical instrument is a pleasant sound. Now music and noise are both sounds, but music is generally considered a pleasant and organized sound, while noise is unpleasant and disorganized. Music is often structured with rhythm, harmony, and melody, making it enjoyable to listen to, according to Doudna. Noise, on the other hand, is often harsh and lacks a clear pattern or structure, making it undesirable. Pleasant and organized, that is, music is pleasant and organized. Music is designed to be pleasing to the ear and often follows a structured pattern. Rhythm, harmony, and melody. These elements contribute to the structure and pleasantness of music. Musical sounds are those that are generally perceived as pleasant and harmonious, often produced by instruments with regular and periodic vibrations. Examples include the sounds of a violin, flute, or piano, where the vibrations are consistent and create a pleasing auditory experience. Sounds from other instruments like the guitar, sitar, and harmonium are also considered musical. So you can see various instruments here which will always make us hear a very melodious and very positive feeling sound. There are many instruments, different types of instruments, musical instruments which we play, and they are based on different principles, like string instruments. These instruments make sound when strings are plucked, bowed, or strummed. Example: guitar, violin, cello, harp, sitar, ukulele. Second type of instrument is wind instruments. Sound is made when air is blown into or through the instrument. They are often divided into two subcategories. Woodwinds, example include flute, clarinet, and saxophone. And brass instruments examples include trumpet, trombone, and tuba. You can see these instruments. Brass instruments are also shown, and on the upper figure, the string instruments are shown. Then third type of musical instruments are percussion instruments. These instruments are played by being struck, shaken or scraped. Example: drums, xylophone, cymbals, triangle, tambourine. Then keyboard instruments. These are played by pressing keys on a keyboard. Piano, keyboard, organ, synthesizer. These classifications help you understand how different musical instruments create their unique sounds. So you can see this musical instruments. There is a trumpet, there is a flute, then there are pianos, tabla, etc. Now, sound requires a medium to travel, meaning it needs a substance like air, water, or a solid to propagate as a wave. This is because sound is a mechanical wave, and these waves rely on the vibration of particles within a medium to carry the sound energy. We cannot hear sound on the moon as there is no medium on it. There no medium on it, that is, atmosphere is not there. Now you can see here the sound travels faster by string, a solid, than air. So when you make a phone with the thread, you can be able to hear. And then even the liquid it travels through liquid. Then it travels to the blown balloon which has got air. Then it travels to the wood. So wood means solid, so it travels faster in solids than in liquid than in gas. Now there is a very serious problem nowadays because of this noise pollution. Everywhere when you are during festivals, people burst crackers, and they are bursting crackers which are making a lot of noise. Also drum playing is also one of the noisy things which is happening everywhere nowadays. Noise pollution is unwanted, loud and unpleasant sound that negatively impacts humans and animals. Animals get so worried about this sound, they are so afraid of it, they just try to hide somewhere as if the sound is going to make something to them, because they can hear the high frequency sounds and therefore they are able to hear it very quickly. Causes include loud vehicle horns, construction machinery, loudspeakers, and household appliances like mixer and all. Then washing machine, they make a lot of sound. It can lead to stress, high blood pressure, hearing damage, and difficulty concentrating. If you the intensity of the sound is measured by decibel. So if any things which are making the sound more than 120 decibels, it is very, very high sound and which cannot be tolerated by the humans. So it is very dangerous to have such decibel sound. So you should reduce the intensity and use proper things. You should get them repaired if they are making a lot of sound. To reduce it, you can lower appliance volumes, avoid unnecessarily honking, and ensure noisy industries and transport are far from homes and sensitive areas like schools and hospitals. So the causes of noise pollution is given here. horns, honking, that is, then the volcano eruption, then even the aeroplanes, they make a lot of sound. Then sounds of helicopters, then bursting of crackers, then animal sound also, barking of the dogs, which is very irritating when they bark continuously. Then raining cloud, thundering and all that. Then horns. All these causes noise pollution. Now, effects on humans of this noise pollution, there are a lot of effects on humans. Hearing problems. Loud noises can damage your ears and lead to hearing loss. Stress and anxiety. Constant loud noises can make you feel stressed, irritable, and anxious. High blood pressure. Noise pollution is linked to increased blood pressure, hypertension, and other stress related illnesses. Sleep disturbances. Loud sounds can disturb your sleep patterns, which is important for your health. Now you can see this noise thermometer and how many decibels are there, because intensity of sound is measured in decibels and the frequency is measured in hertz. So this is the difference. Amplitude is the intensity of the sound, the volume, and the frequency means how many waves are or how many vibrations per second. That is frequency. So intensity, the loud sound depends on the intensity. So you have to see what is lower intensity and what is higher intensity sounds. So you should have, when you are sleeping, you should have a very less, when a child is sleeping in the bedroom, there should not be any noise. So it should be about 25 decibels. Then there is living room, it should have 40 decibels. There should not be loud, TV should not be on very loud volume. You should not hear the TV or the radio. So in the living room, you should have 40 decibel sound. Then burning crackers, or in the offices you should have only about 65 decibel sound. Then in the speeches, when you are talking to somebody, you should have 60 decibel. So like that, heavy truck, it should have 90, it will have 90 decibels. Then the car or the taxi will have 85 decibels. Then rock music has 100 decibels, which is again very, very high. And the sound, the pressure level, sound pressure level, decibels, in decibels. The aeroplane is more than 120 decibels, around 140 decibels. So you can imagine that if there is this much intensity of sound, then the humans will get affected. They will get affected by this sound, and therefore you have to be careful about having so much decibel sounds. So you should reduce it. To reduce noise pollution, what you should do? We can control loud sound sources like car horns and loudspeakers. Keep home electronics at low volumes and plant more trees to absorb sound. So there should be absorbers, like curtains are the good absorbers of the sound. So you have to have certain things which can plant more trees. That is very, very good to absorb sound. Then using noise reducing headphones or earplugs and supporting silent zones near hospitals and schools can also help. Avoiding the unnecessary use of honking and busting firecrackers are also effective methods. Simple steps to control noise pollution. Stop unwanted honking. Many people unnecessarily they just uh, blow the horns, which is not necessary. Restrict loudspeakers in events. Then noisy machines installed in soundproof chambers. Sirens use only emergency services. Then silence zones should be created. And for more such ways, read out our articles which are given by certain, you can read it on the Google. Now, the conclusion of the sound chapter. Now you can see, did you know that which all sounds are having more decibels? Volcano, eruption, then the loudspeakers, horns, all that is given there. Sound is a form of energy produced by vibrating objects, which travels as longitudinal waves through a medium like air, water, or solids. These waves cannot travel in a vacuum. Sound can be described by its pitch, determined by frequency, loudness, determined by amplitude, and speed, which varies in different mediums. We hear sound when our ears detect these waves and send signals to our brain for interpretation. Summary of sound for class 6. What is sound? Sound is a form of energy that is created by vibrating objects or produced by vibrating objects. How is sound produced? When an object vibrates, it creates disturbances in the surrounding medium like air, which travel as sound waves. For example, when you plug a guitar string, it vibrates creating sound. How does sound travel? Sound needs medium like air, water, or solids to travel. It travels as a longitudinal wave which involves the compressions, squeezing, and expansion, spreading out of the medium's particles. Can sound travel in a vacuum? No, sound cannot travel through a vacuum because there is no medium for it to travel through. Thank you, children. Please like my channel, subscribe, and don't forget to